Black people wake up every day, and as soon as they come out their door, everybody got something to sell. Everybody got something to sell to us. And they wake up selling to us. We don't have nothing to sell to us. We want to move our business out there with the white folks, in the white folk boutique, in the white folk mall. We ain't got nothing to sell to us, nigga. Every day nigga supposed to wake up and have something to sell. This is a capitalist country, nigga. So, nah, man, so, we worried about the wrong shit. If we take 5 years or take a 5-year break from talking politics talk, religion talk, and sports talk, and just talk manufacturing, production, creativity, nigga, we'll come up with some shit. Like the 5 families bought them 100 acres of land. We'll come up with some shit. Nigga, we do like the Freemasons, the free niggas did, the free black men when they went to Atlanta. We moved to one area, nigga, and zone it, annex it. Like they trying to do redistricting. We say, okay, nigga, all of us for the move, nigga, 10 families move to one small rural city. They can outvote everybody. But nigga, we ain't thinking. Nigga, we ain't thinking. They telling us how to think. We not thinking outside the box. Right. All of us thinking inside the box. Trending topics on social media got all of us trapped in the box. We ain't got no conversation outside of trending topics on social media. So we take those topics from social media and bring them into our real life, and we really supposed to be talking about trust issues with the people around us, but we talking about this shit. We supposed to be talking about, nigga, you owe me some money, and I don't loan you no money. Nigga, we supposed to be talking about some real shit. Nigga, when you gonna pay me that money back you been borrowing from me? Nigga. Men say, when you gonna say I'm sorry for when you done this and I've been holding this against you? We ain't talking about what really matters.
The more we remove ourselves from that box, these boxes, the more we remove ourselves from them boxes, the more we can touch base with reality. That's what he's getting at. When we stop. Anyways, it was still moving, which is what I was looking at. Anyways, the sooner that we remove the importance of the box and start thinking outside of that box, the more sooner we can become in touch with reality. I lost my train of thought because this shit was moving, but I'll let him take over.
Hold a resentment toward the people around and talking about some bullshit. We need to be talking about what's in our hearts. That's why I like, man. That's why I like talking to that nigga Woody. Cause Woody make a nigga check the conditions of his heart. That's a nigga thankful that he done been forgiven in his mind for whatever wrongs he done. That done a bunch of wrongs. So now, man, we forget we done wrong before. Ain't none of us perfect. And nigga, I'm honest enough with myself to say, nigga, sometimes I want to be wrong if I don't like you. But I at least go tell myself, man, he wrong with the motherfucker. So is what I tell myself, to saying I'm wrong. So fuck you, nigga, I want to be wrong. Yeah, go on by my business.
Bro, man, none of us is perfect, man. That's why there's an exception to a lot of things. But he's funny, man. Sometimes it's necessary to go within your level to get certain results, especially when it comes to dealing with people you don't like. But I would sooner just tell you just ignore that person. But I just gotta make that make sense for some of y'all, because y'all like to see a lot of this shit and be like, yeah, okay, he did that, so you don't want it. No. Charleston White is Charleston White.
Yeah, ask God for forgiveness a year later. So yeah, now nigga, we gotta change our tune right now. We gotta unplug from the trending topics, cause the white folk go keep us distracted.
How you think we get to the ears of the youth?
Huh?
How you think we get to the ears of the youth with some other type of messages?
How we get to the ears of the youth?
Yeah, like you were saying, they don't listen to.
It's only 2 ways. Eating dinner at the table with them, or talking to them when they get out of school.
Right.
And we don't debrief them when they get out of school. All the fucked up shit they learn at school. Mm-hmm. All the shit that you don't know they learn, they take it to school and share it. And then other kids come back and say what they done learn from another kid. So one kid grows up in a sexual household with a sexual dad, a sexual mom. He get access to all this porn magazine. Guess what? One day he's gonna bring a porn magazine to school. One day he's gonna say, hey, look, let me show you this. So it's always one kid that spreads this, because he's exposed to it from his neglect, his parental supervision. That's why I say most kids who molest. They go touch another kid. Most kids that's getting abused and lied to, they go replicate the same behavior amongst other kids. And by that, they recruit some more kids.
See, I understand that I can't control everything, and I'm not trying to make this so personal, but this is why I'm real careful about talking to my daughter when she gets home from school. And this is why I'll be trying to talk to her, monthly, weekly, all the time, honestly, about where her mind is and about certain things. I'll try to, what cuss words do you know? What cuss words have you heard of? That's a very small thing, but that's just one of the many things that I do to just try to spark conversations, just to see what my daughter has experienced and what she has learned while not being around me. Because, I tell you, a lot of the things that he just mentioned is happening it's happening to a very large degree for kids their age. All my nieces and nephews, I've heard them talking and heard some shit that I just feel like, I wish he was a little bit older. And then me as an adult, trying to be righteous and trying to be the best version of myself, I just feel like, damn, is it really that time to have that kind of talk with these kids? It sucks because I grew up in that reality. You know what I mean? I grew up going through those changes and developing through those issues, you can say. But it's just sad to have to realize that in today's world with our kids. Like, our kids are fucked up, and they're growing up in a lot of fucked up ways, and there's no control over that. You can only be so upset about it until you just realize you can't even control it. But yeah, I try to talk to my baby all the time, so I'm glad he said that. And I know I'm doing the right thing, because that's what scares me. I don't want my daughter learning something to that degree outside of me. Or I don't want her to learn something I don't want her to soak in something from the outside world. And I don't want it to sit on her to the point where she's not talking about it. If that makes sense. I kind of said that wrong because I'm just thinking about shit now. But take your time with your kids and talk to these kids, boy, because they're being exposed and exploited to a lot of things at an early age. And a lot of them don't have no home training. A lot of parents aren't even watching and surveillancing, is that the word? Supervising. A lot of parents aren't even supervising their kids, man. We need to do better, especially as young parents. I'm 26, and there's things I can do better that I do really good with when it comes to parenting, but we need to do better, y'all.
by their behavior. To some, it's appealing. To some, it's a relief. For some, it's a power trip. So, nah, homie, so that's the only way you can impact the future is we don't talk to our kids. Show me a platform, nigga, that put something together and our kids is telling us how unsafe the schools is, how many guns at the school, how they feel. Nigga, we hadn't even sat down and took the temperature of our kids to see how have the pandemic affected them. All the hate climate. Nigga, we ain't checking the temperature of our kids' mental state right now in America because it's too many adults are arguing, fussing, hating, and fighting. So the kids can only mimic and repeat what they see. So now, nigga, so if you ain't talking, nigga, if you ain't catching the mamas with prenatal care, and then, nigga, when you, that's before they get here. Nigga, if you ain't consciously trying to create a peaceful environment for a child to be born into, soon as this bitch get pregnant, you and this, y'all fighting like a motherfucker. She angry every day. She feeling lonely. She, nigga, all the negative emotion is what creates the baby's temperament. And you wonder why this baby angry and mean at such an early age. And you putting a label, oh, he just mean. Man, that's a temperament that comes from the mother's conditions of the birth. Yeah, nigga, the 9 months is very, nigga, those are trimesters, so a certain stage. No, nigga, so we don't make sure those 9 months.
See, and stuff like this fuck me up, because, man, this explains my situation. Like, I don't glamorize it. I'm not happy about it at all. But me and my baby mama was arguing while she was pregnant. I was distant from her, all type of shit, just because of the things that was going around. No, I didn't want that, but that's just the fucked up reality about these kids and what they go through. That shit starts the first week that woman is, the first month that woman is pregnant. I'm telling you, all the negative shits. It's the baby soaking up everything from that first week.
The best 9 months a woman can be. Her happiest, her at peace, nigga, man, the baby come out and been through hell for 9 months emotionally wise. Got her mama's emotions. Got his mama's emotions. I already resent the daddy because the mama done, these feelings done grew through the umbilical cord. So now when you come, man, shit, nigga, the baby don't get to cuddle, the love and need, because nigga, mama ain't loving and nurturing. If she mad, worry about the nigga cheating, I'm gonna whoop that bitch, fucking my baby daddy, sit the baby down so the bitch can be on, yeah, bitch, and put the pacifier in the baby mouth, go back, yeah, bitch, and yeah, the baby won't, yeah. So no, nigga, that's where we gotta start, nigga, from the conditions of how we create our children, because the white man don't control that.
Right.
He don't sell the baby no more. He used to sell the baby, and let the mom and dad, let the husband and wife stay together. And that's how he control them. I know where your baby is. I know, Master, which family you sold it to, Master? Can you please just tell me? He get the woman to bow down to him. I'll let you know when your baby sold one day. We seen the movie. Nigga, 12 years of slavery.
Yeah, that's a deep one.
Yeah. Yeah, so now, nigga, the white man can't control the conditions of how we create babies. So that's where our power lie.
For sure, it started home, for sure.
Everything started at home. Yeah. Everything started with your bloodline. Everything started with your bloodline. Some of our bloodline are subservient slaves. Some of our bloodlines are revolutionary, rebel slaves that buck and got whipped and got beat. I think that's the bloodline I got. Because can't nobody tell me what to do. I don't even follow court orders. That's why I kept going to jail. They say I couldn't smoke weed, and I did.
That tyrant spirit.
A free spirit that God gave man. Man was never supposed to dictate to other men and govern them. We were supposed to govern ourselves. With just one law of nature. Love thy neighbor. Love though, love. Nigga, love was the only thing that was supposed to govern us. Black people wake up every.
That's something I want to bring to my content, the hard conversations. You have to have a mental capacity to even register these kind of things. I'm pretty sure the average man would just go and scroll and skip it. You know, you see, I got defensive and I felt some of the pain and some of the fucked up shit that he was talking about, but you have to be able to face that reality for yourself. You got to be able to say, damn, I'm a part of this problem. I need to change it. And I think that's what a lot of people need to do. Go within, okay? Figure out where you fucking bad and figure out where you can change. I got a nonprofit organization called A Small Part, and it goes far. It can go so many different ways. A small part giving back, but what small part can you do to make the changes in the world? You know, because it's just the small things. If we have 1 million people every single day just doing the small things, then sooner that'll turn to 2 million to 5.5 and 5.5 to 7.3. You know what I mean? It just grows the more. And anytime you see somebody doing something that they're supposed to be doing, it always hits you like, damn, I need to be doing it. I might not be doing that, but I know there's something else that I could be doing. And that's what this shit is about.
Every day, and sooner they come.
Hi, yeah, there's actually like a whole story for why you don't know that, and I made a chart to explain it. That's the lemon. Unsurprising to anyone who knows anything about U.S. history, the first part of the story hinges around racism. So
Be the only person on the planet that didn't know that you can just pick a piece of fruit off of a tree.
hi, yeah, there's actually like a whole story for why you don't know that, and I made a chart to explain it. That's the lemon. Unsurprising to anyone who knows anything about U.S. history, the first part of the story hinges around racism. So there was racism, and then there was the Emancipation Proclamation. If you don't remember, that was when Hat Man said that we were people now. But after that happened, previous living freed slaves like foraged and fished and trapped on the lands where they were being held, like on the plantations they worked on. The plantation owners were like, well, buddy, you could gather things when you work here for free. But I don't like that. So because of that, the South passes a bunch of laws that turns trespassing from a civil offense to a criminal offense, and that was specifically to keep black and indigenous people from foraging on land they don't own. And the kicker of that is, they don't own land. So, bing, bang, boom, those laws also catch on nationwide. So the first chapter of our story closes with people not being able to gather fruits, foods, any sort on land that doesn't belong to them. So that concludes this chapter. The next chapter, also racism. For thousands of years, indigenous groups here in North America managed lands and waters using all sorts of methods like controlled burns, and they formed mutually beneficial relationships with a lot of the plants and the animals and the fungi. And then after that, white people, they got here and they said, this does not look like a farm, so obviously no one must be tending to it.
I ain't gonna lie, that's just the first person. That's the first time I've seen somebody spell white people like that. Oh shit, bro, this shit be. It's just, to me, I don't know. It's just funny to me. It's not funny, but it's just crazy. Especially when you dive into this subject as many times as I do. It's not a surprise. So I did not think that the beginning of this video was going to turn out to be a racial black conversation. I love it.
hashtag untouched wilderness, hashtag we about to wild out in these streams. And they wilded out so hard that they decided, we need to set aside the land where we're not allowed to wild out anymore. And they did that through the Park Service. But when they created the Park Service, they used hands-off conservation, which was based in this original idea that the land didn't look like people were tending to it because it didn't use European farming methods. And so they believed in order to keep the land immaculate, no one could touch them. And so with that, you can also now not gather food in parks. Love you. So to catch you up, that is now no free food from private land and also no free food from public land. So you can gather food on your own land. So obviously we would still learn how to do that, right? Our final chapter in why you don't know that you can gather lemons from trees, classism. All the isms are getting their time. Welcome to the 1900s, jazz and dust bowl, oh no, world war. And as we get close to the halfway point of this century, grocery stores and refrigerators are popping up. It is the cool kid way to be getting all of your food. Oh, only poor people gather their own food? By the 1960s, that's how people were feeling about foraging, by and large. Of course, this doesn't mean everybody. Which then leads to, oh my god, no one likes me anymore because Barbara said I act poor, sadly. And so what did people do? They stopped foraging. They stopped picking their own food. No one wants to look poor. Everyone wants to keep up with the Joneses. And who are those people? Our parents and grandparents. And some of you guys are infants, so probably great-grandparents too. So you know who didn't teach us about any of those things? Our parents and our grandparents. So now a lot of people our age don't know. It led to what I call the big food forgetting, in which people in Western communities are super detached from their food. We have no part in it anymore, except for what we pick out at the grocery store, really. And that is why my homegirl thought that her store lemons and her tree lemons were not the same lemons. Honestly, it could happen to anybody. I know people are giving her a rough time in the comments. And that big food forgetting is part of the reason why I make the content that I do, teaching people what wild food they can find in their own neighborhoods. I think we deserve to remember. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Happy snacking, don't die. So there was racism, and then there was the
avoid at all cost. A woman who treats other men as friends and keeps them. Fellas, there are 6 dangerous women you must avoid at all cost. A woman who treats other men as friends and keeps them close. She is a threat and a master manipulator. Those men are your replacements. Avoid her. A woman who only cares about your looks and brings you no real commitment. She is a shallow drifter and will leave you broken. Avoid her. A woman who is self-centered, arrogant, and a taker, who doesn't listen to you, dismisses your opinions and belittles your feelings. She is a self-centered fool who will make you feel small. Avoid her. A woman who is angry, bitter, never finds peace within herself. She will bring chaos into your life and give you no rest. Avoid her. A woman who constantly disrespects you, belittles your worth, and never values you. She doesn't deserve a place in your life. Avoid her. Walk away from her and avoid her. A woman who hides things from you, keeps secrets, and lives a double life. She is a deceiver who will betray your trust. Run and avoid her.
I mean, shit, that's pretty straightforward. Now, I'm not one of those biased people. I feel like when I hear stuff like this, I don't just go, oh, this is for every woman in the world. Like, no, I think this is for friendships. This is for business things as well. You can use this on a business aspect. This would be everyday shit. This is for men and women. You know, watch those people, because the world is full of people of deceit. The world is full of people of malice and manipulation, and you just gotta be able to discern. Okay, if you ain't got the gift of discernment, you better go within and figure it out. But my Wi-Fi is fucking up still, so we're gonna skip this video. I've been gone. I don't know what this is about, but this shit that y'all always talking about. I know you can't really control the circumstances, but I don't think that the baby should have been in this kind of environment anyway. But I don't even know what's going on here, but if she was the girl on the phone, I think that she had no business bringing her baby, knowing that she was going to be at the event. Oh my God, hold on. When I was in the shower, in jail and shit, I literally burnt my skin, trying to get the soap and shit off, and you can see it. You know, I'm not trying to show off no definition or nothing, but nah, for real, my shit red. But anywho, we gotta protect the babies, okay? Gotta be more thoughtful. But the fact, I think that's why I lost my train of thought before I started looking at myself. The problem is that she picked up the baby and you're still trying to argue with the baby in your hand. Like, I know, that stresses me out. Tell me what's going on through your mind when you're in a situation or altercation, you pick up your child. It has to be a defense mechanism, because nobody's picking up a baby when you are seeing your threat come upon you. Like, you put you and your baby in jeopardy. But mine said I can't take anything else away from her, because I'm pretty sure you just can't control shit like this. But protect the babies. Is there anything somebody can tell me about Israel and what's going on today? I'm gonna try to do some research behind, the scene and bring out something, but I keep seeing a lot of stuff about Israel. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of worldly stuff that I just need to dive into. But if you are hearing about stuff like this, please let me know or tag me in something. I swear they do anything to try to tear my boy D1 down.
The hatred and lies that's told about me from other Christians is sad. We supposed to be teammates. Like this guy right here saying I be smoking big blunts before the shows, and he got friends that told him, "Do you want to be smoking big blunts?" Boy, I don't even know how to light a blunt. You hear me? I ain't never smoked a day in my life. But you get on here and say this, and then he's mad because I did a song with Boosie, one of the hottest songs in hip hop, by the way, where we redefine the gangster, we giving God the glory in the song. But he'll say stuff like,
this man right here claims to be a Christian. This is Lil Boosie. This man has been caught smoking weed,
This man blows blunts. This man's get caught in the club. This man's got music with BG. This man's got music with Lil Boosie now. And y'all are still following and having him on y'all shows and doing the most by backing a man who is a fake coward. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I know personal friends that have witnessed this man blowing big blunts behind the scene before he gets on the stage. And he walks around, he walks in circles with those who hate Jesus, who are against Jesus, and do not follow Jesus. This is a fake coward right here. Do not support this man. And stop having him on y'all stuff, supporting him, giving him a voice for any type of Christian thing.
If we gon' keep it gangsta, we gon' keep it gangsta. If you don't know where you going, you better grab your wife and really been my friend, I made a bag last Monday. Went to church all the time.
The hatred and lies that's told about me from...
Now, once again, I'm trying to get biased on here. What about educating? What about smoking is against the word of Jesus? Or is against the laws of Christianity or the rules? What about that would make somebody a fake Christian? But then I feel like if you know D1, you know his purpose and you know the things that he talks about, and you know how he was. You know how he was. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm dealing with this shit right now, bro. So I don't know. I ain't seen this video, but he talking about the legal system in prison and jail, and I will tell you that shit is fucked up. Let's see what he got to say.
I'm legally on a slave plantation. I'm not picking cotton, I'm sewing it now. I can really break it down to you how it's really legal slavery.
Break it down, bro.
Because, okay, so according to the United States Constitution, the 13th Amendment, it says that no American citizen shall be worked for anything under minimum wages unless duly convicted by the courts, right? Then they can be worked for less than minimum wage. So duly convicted by the courts meaning going into the court system and catching a felony and being in the penitentiary. That was the reason for them setting the traps for us that I was talking about earlier, so that they can continue that $1 trillion industry, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had no knowledge of this before I went in. And that's the beautiful part about understanding now. And that's why I woke up. I remember one day sitting at my sewing machine, bro. We used to literally just sit there for 8 hours sewing. Big stacks of towels, sewing.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever look at a bath towel, bro, it's always a tag inside the hem of a towel.
100%.
Right? 100%. It's great you say 100% because what I'm going to explain next is what woke me up.
Yeah.
I keep this tag. This is actually a tag that I used to put inside of the towels.
Wow.
I worked on sewing machine number 5, but check this out. One day something told me to read it.
Yeah.
And I read it on the bottom. What does that say? Made in USA, 100% cotton, right? So it dawned on me. In 2013, 14, 15, I'm legally on a slave plantation. I'm not picking cotton, I'm sewing it now. They skillfully crafted a way to put us back on the cotton field, right? Legally.
Yeah.
Legally. And guess what? This was so crazy about it. Right now, today, that prison industrial complex is still doing the same thing. They got brothers in there right now, sewing, probably doing overtime. As we speak, in 2024, legal slavery of our people.
Just to eat when they get told to eat. Just
absolutely. It's legal slavery, and that's why they set the trap so that they can put us back on the plantation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. But you know what I want to say though?
Yeah.
You made something out of that.
Absolutely. So that was the reason for starting my own line, because I worked.
Now they set traps. They set traps to get us to get back. They set the traps to set us back. They do that. But aren't we the dummies? Now what's crazy is I've gotten out and I've seen that Shannon Sharpe has his show again. So it's crazy that I'm seeing something like this because I didn't even know that they was on the same team back in the day. But that just shows you how young I am. So
has something very interesting to say about his friend Shannon Sharpe and how they both went their separate ways. He talks about how shocked he is about Shannon Sharpe's content. Y'all, let me play these clips, and also I'm gonna show y'all Shannon Sharpe and what he had to say in response to Ray Lewis. Let's watch y'all.
I'm not surprised. I'm shocked at his content. I would, in a million years, the things that Shannon has said now, or did now, I would never believe that Shannon would say or do anything like that. Simply, Shannon, in my entire career, I never saw Shannon do ever. Like it was against the law, right? Because he had some stuff in his family that he didn't want to follow that. And yeah, so I kind of started to watch him, and then we kind of went on separate ways. Because I'm like, you're gonna take that route. I can't go that route. Never can go that route. And that route is become so worldly that you become popular because you're talking about ignorance. Right? A lot of times, a lot of these gossip conversations that they have and bringing up all this stuff, I'm not gonna do that. Nobody. I'm not in the business of that. I'm in like trying to teach people what this means to be a better man, get back to the kingdom. You know, and a lot of times, like, and a lot of guys get in trouble with these podcast things, man, because everybody wants to follow her. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody wants to make money. But that's a tightrope into what you call influence and popularity. And the devil has the ability to make you popular. God has the ability to give you influence that people see you as an image in. And that's the thing for me. It started to switch with not just Shannon, but just a couple people. I'm like, oh, people see each other like that. Really? And I would never, ever, why? Because of the respect I have for my mother, my daughters, my granddaughters, life, period. Like, I think men, given these new platforms, we've overrode what the platform's actually for. The platform is supposed to help somebody find a new direction. We don't help. Everybody just gets like everybody's talking. Everybody got pockets. Everybody's the new marriage coach. Everybody's the new relationship coach. And ain't nobody coaching themselves. Because if you were coaching yourself, if it says power of life and death is not in the tongue, then go back and check out a couple of episodes and ask yourself, do you get life or do you get death?
Here's Shannon Sharpe's response, y'all.
Because a lot of things when you tolerate it, no way, say my thing, when I'm transpired, I'm like, I'm a good person. I walk away, hey, you right. Because you know why I was always low-hanging fruit. Yeah. You know how I know? Because boy, you look at it, you low-hanging fruit. You know, a lot of people think you shot at your boy. Come on now. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. It's all right. Yeah. It's okay.
man, that's why I just try not to judge another man. I look in the mirror before I sit and try to put my 2 cents on the next man. Now, some of my content, some things are just not tolerable. I feel like there are certain things that just are not tolerable, and yes, you need to speak on it, but you never judge another man because Okay, here goes some more worldly news that I did not hear about. But it says 52,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Why is nobody talking about this? They were mothers, fathers, children, believers who refused to deny their faith. In Nigeria, over 52,000 Christians have been slaughtered in brutal attacks. Their churches burned, their villages erased, and yet the world remains silent. No headlines, no outrage, just silence. While the world scrolls past celebrity gossip, Christians are being haunted and murdered in Nigeria. Over 52,000 lives lost for simply believing in Jesus. Their blood cries out for justice, but the world has turned its back. These weren't just numbers. They were brothers and sisters in Christ. Over 52,000 Christians were killed in Nigeria because of their faith. As the world stays silent, we must speak. We must pray. We must not look away. Wow. Let's look at some comments, honestly. Well, I'm going to look into that and find a video. We're going to definitely touch base on this again. Wow, it says it's 8 billion people versus 13 families. Anybody want to dive into this with me? They said it's the tip of the iceberg. Okay, it says, a study finds a woman's touch can physically and emotionally heal a man. Her touch can literally influence his biology. Research shows that couples who hold hands or share a 20-second hug experience smaller increases in heart rate, blood pressure during stressful moments. Other studies found that consistent warm touch habits over several weeks can lower a man's daily blood pressure and boost oxytocin levels in both partners, the hormones that promote calm and emotional connection. Additional experiments revealed that holding hands can reduce pain as partners' brainwaves sync, while even brief hugs can lower cortisol. Yeah, I'm sorry, I ain't seen that word before. The body's stress hormone. A woman's affectionate touch can guide a man's body out of fight or flight mode and into a state of true recovery. Show your girlfriends this, okay? Well, keep scrolling. I think this is where we was talking about that last post. It says, this is a 1927 news article showing America was sold to billionaires of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Harrimans, and Warburgs. Uh-oh. Y'all see this? I think we're getting somewhere. So there are 15 families. I want to look this up. This type of stuff, it grabs my attention because it's like, the world is being ran by 15 families. To me, that's just crazy. I can't fathom that. How do 15 families own the world? It says that 13 families run the world. It is said that they believe in bloodlines. The notion of bloodlines is handy, especially for greedy people who want to hoard all of the money and keep it in the family. It said that these are the families that run our world. Okay. I've personally heard of Rockefeller, Rothschilds. I've heard of the Freemen. Everything else I've heard of except for Kennedy, and I don't even think that's the Kennedys that I'm referring to. So we'll dive more into this later on. Here goes some politics.
Can I say something? I just want to say this. I'm trying to be very respectful to everybody because they deserve it. Let me say that. No, because you deserve it. But let me say this. I don't think Washington understands how ticked off we truly are. Think about the conversation that we're having right now. You brought up a single-payer system, emulating Canada. You know, we're looking at a president that just gave $20 billion to Argentina. We're hearing about us witnessing what I consider to be a retribution tour, and even though to some degree I don't blame him because of how people went after him, still it appears to be counterproductive. We're listening to this kind of stuff while a young man walked up to the microphone and said that he had to leave here to go and work on DoorDash to help pay for his daughter's tuition. Meanwhile, everybody up here getting paid. But he ain't. This is this kind of stuff right here. That's how you know, and I'm not accusing any of you directly or personally of feelings. I'm just talking about the apparatus that is Washington, the nation's capital. This is why you have so many Americans, excuse my language, so pissed off at Washington. Because somehow, some way, you get to have these conversations, engage in specific elements of it to talk about what we need to do to get things better. Our debt is $37.8 trillion. Somehow, some way, the taxpayer's been paying this, been throwing money, because we all look at our check, and it's been going to the government. And somehow, some way, you're supposed to be doing something constructive and productive enough to make sure that we don't have that kind of deficit. It isn't happening. A government shutdown is going on right now. A man has to work on DoorDash when he's really an air traffic controller, that we applauded, and we're up here talking about how much some money is going to cost, and the only person that don't have a check coming is him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break. All right.
Well, yeah. But personally, I do want to jump into that conversation of the government shutdown. That was talked about a long time ago, and it's crazy that it's happening now. And honestly, when I was locked up, I didn't want to jump into the news and politics and worldly issues because that type of shit just fucks my head up. But now I'm out, I got time. Hopefully I can find something. Okay, so I definitely want to dive into it says EU declares U.S. citizens who refuse a biometric digital ID will be banned from Europe. So the digital ID, biometric digital ID, which I'm feeling like biometric meaning that they have to put something in us. I don't know. We're gonna jump into this once I find videos, but I'm gonna just let y'all do y'all thing and talk about it first before I do my research. Tag me some stuff though, because who knows when I'll get to that. But we're gonna go through some comments. It said, didn't we stop caring about their laws back in 1776? They said we made tea wrong. I guess throwing it in the harbor wasn't the right proper British way. Wow. People are so immature. People are so immature. Okay, let me keep going. Somebody said, I guess I'll never see Europe in this life. Okay, anyways, comments are not helping, so we're just gonna move on. I don't know the guy, but the little bit that I seen, he just was talking shit. And I just need to know who this dude is. If y'all know him, let me know.
A white woman's idea of beauty is real thin with the titties. Ugh. You can call it pandering, but if I was up here caping for white women, you wouldn't even mention that word. But the hair is flat and it's lifeless. The face, they be looking crazy. That's just a history of addiction, a history of inbreeding. A lot of white men aren't seeing it so desirable anymore. A lot of ambiguous babies popping up. Well, shit, the black woman, feminizing these young men. Then with the argument, well, where was the men at? Well, we was in prison due to the system. Okay, let's stick there. All right. Now we get somewhere. Now we could. Sydney Sweeney, with American Eagle doing Nazi propaganda. The incels are the people that look at her as the prototypical woman. I just watched a movie with her. It was a pretty good movie. She was a fucking heroin addict. She played a great heroin addict. A white woman's idea of beauty is real thin.
Okay, so right now, I kind of can't find something else with him, but we're going to get to the core of him because those comments are very, very, very offensive. But there's no context to it from this video, so no judgment passed along now, but we're going to get back to him.
What's wrong, Michaela? My kids are bad as hell, man. What's wrong with them? They're mean. They're always angry. They're disrespectful. They don't listen. But before you start, I'm not doing that gentle parenting bullshit because I don't believe in it. Y'all be letting y'all kids run all over you. Girl, please, don't nobody run over me, especially not children. But okay. Why do you think they're angry? I don't know. Damn it! I'm the only one that does anything about this house! I told you not to ask for anything. You just have to do your homework! Sorry for existing, Mom. They're fighting a lot in school. Why? I told you to put it back. Put it back. Maybe I should call your dad, huh? You don't like your mommy roundhouse. You want daddy to roundhouse you. If you don't go to sleep, I'm gonna beat your ass. I have no idea. I know you don't like gentle parenting, but have you tried methods other than beating them and screaming? I'm not even gonna entertain the idea of gentle parenting. Beating them and screaming is the only way they'll listen. But they're not listening. I don't care. I don't feel like changing. You can get out. What's wrong?
That is hilarious. But I ain't gonna lie, Charleston White talked about this. Now, this is how you know a wholesome truth, because you can see somebody else talking about it. Beating, yelling, and forcefully applying your authority to kids is just one of the low IQ ways of parenting. There are so many ways to get into a kid's mind and to shift their behavior other than you forcefully applying your authority to them. It's really embarrassing. It's really bullying. And it's really getting over. And all your child does is store up that shit and create an identity for you that it is hard to leave from, if that makes sense. All they're gonna do is grow up and say, my mama was a fucked up ass motherfucker. I gotta admit, like all the yelling shit and whooping shit, I stopped that shit a long time ago. There's other ways to get into my 6-year-old daughter's head than putting my hands on her. Now, I make that girl drop do push-ups. And you know what? By the time the little arms get tired, she's in full remorse of what she has done, and she makes it right, okay? All the extra shit, that shit is gonna follow them. And it's gonna bite you back in the ass one way or another.